So we're going to look at plasterboarding this wall. We've got some dot and dab method on this one. This wall is all over the place in terms of levels. We've got tiles, blocks, uneven surfaces. We've got loads to contend with. So we're going to dot and dab it because that's going to give us the best chance of getting the outside of this nice and straight and level, ready for tiling. This corner behind me here is going to be tiled. So there's going to be a tiled corner in here. Square edges is always better than not square edges when it comes to tiling. So the work we do now is going to matter for the finished product that we actually see. So effort now, results later. The first step is to cut the plasterboard to the right sizes, and then it's a case of mixing up some adhesive and sticking it all on the wall. Sounds simple, but there are some things that you need to get right at this stage. Let's get on with it, and I'll take you through some of the things you need to be thinking about as I'm doing this job. And at the end, we're going to end up with a really nice level finish to tile onto. That's the goal here. So the first thing, preparation. I've taken all the high spots off of this wall. I've taken 2 layers of tiles and plasterboard and dot and dab and all sorts of bits and bobs that were left on this wall. So the whole wall is flat now. It's ready to go. Flat enough anyway. I've marked on the windowsill exactly where I want the outside edge of my plasterboard to finish. The way I look at it, I want nice even bits of this window frame left at the end of this job. So when you look at the window frame, it's been tiled and there's equal gaps on either edge of exposed window frame. So there's a bath going here. So I've put these buttons on the wall. I sat the bath in the gap because it's just over 1.7 meters, this room. But I've got tile backerboard at one end, plasterboard stuck to the wall at the other end, and I've got to make sure that this bath actually fits in this gap once I've done this job. So dry fit the bath, put some offcuts of tile backerboard at that end, push it up, and then see what gaps left at this end. Now I've done that, and I've run a line on top of this batten, so I know now that the outside edge of my plasterboard needs to finish no further forwards than the line I've made here. So it's all about preparation. You've got to think ahead and make sure that the work I do now doesn't stuff me up later, with the end result being a nice quality bathroom that we pay for. So preparation is key. I've also PVA washed this wall. So a 50-50 mix PVA and water. That's gone on this wall and it's all soaked in, did that yesterday. So that's now ready for the plasterboard adhesive. That's going to stick well. So it's time to measure up. We're going to measure up some plasterboard, cut it to shape, get it all in the right sort of place, and then I'll show you what steps are important to do before we actually stick this stuff to the wall. Beautiful. So those 2 pieces are in. That's nice so far. All you have to remember is you need to scribe the perimeters of this plasterboard. You have to mark it onto the wall. The reason being is when we come to dot and dab, I need to know where the edges are because I need to overlap my dot and dab so the boards don't flex apart in the middle. So this is an important step. Make sure you don't miss it. Mark up all your edges. You'll see why that matters in just a few minutes. Okay, so I've set up a laser line. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe it's a bit easier to see on me. So I've set up a laser on the edge that I want to be left. It gives me something to measure away from the wall on, so I know how to cut my plasterboard. So that's 524. And that is 520. So 4 mil out. Unfortunately, at this stage, there's very little I can do about that because this plaster has set. This is a fixed wall now. So I want to make sure that this edge is square. I'm probably going to have to scribe the tiles into the plasterwork a little bit. We'll figure that out later. But at least I know what this measurement is. At least I can get my window frame square. And that's what we're going to go with. Beautiful. So that's nice and tight. And my laser is lining up with the edge of that. Now, if I do need to trim this back for the windowsill edge later on, I can just do that. And I'll show you how to do that because I think I might do. Looking at that now, I think I might have cut it a bit wide, but we'll fix that problem in a little bit. So again, marking on the edges of the board where they're going to overlap. So that's the top piece in. There's no glue or anything holding that, no adhesive holding that together at the minute at all. That's just a tight cut keeping that in place. So come on, that's got to be worth a like. If you're enjoying the video, please give us a like and appreciate it. So we've got everything in place. We've marked on the walls where all the joins are. I'll show you why that's important in a minute. Next steps is to mix up some adhesive and start dotting and dabbing this on the wall. Some important preparation for that. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then I'll show you the process of fixing plasterboard onto the wall using the dot and dab method. So let's go. Plasterboard adhesive, sticking plasterboard onto a solid wall. There's some things you need. You're going to need yourself a bucket trowel. Pretty simple. Doesn't matter if it's clean. This one really isn't. You're going to need yourself a nice large bucket to mix in, 30 litres this one. You're going to need yourself a paddle mixer, something that just turns and rotates to mix it all up. You're going to need something to spin this, unless you're going to do it by hand forever. You need a drill, so I recommend one of them. And you're going to need some levels, various different lengths of levels to use. So now it's a case of get some water in this bucket and start adding powder until I get the right consistency. And I'll show you in a second what that consistency looks like. I'd also recommend a mask. I've just borrowed this tool from someone who's working downstairs because I can't be bothered to go to the van to get mine. A bit laziness. I love an old tool, and this one apparently is about 15 years old, passed down through a couple of generations. And if you've watched my how to relay a carpet video, you'll see that I've used a tool in that video that's been passed down through 2 of my personal generations. So I love old tools. They're still going. I mean, are they better than the new tools? I don't know, but they're still going. I've got a lot of new tools that haven't survived a year. So work that out. Anyway, let's get mixing. So I've taken all the plasterboard off of the wall. It was only dry fit, so nice and easy. I've marked it up just so I 100% know where it's going to go back. And don't forget, we've marked on with pencils the edges of our boards. Now that's for a reason, and I'll explain that just now. So we need to get some adhesive on the wall now, and I need to do that strategically in some certain places. So I've put that on down the line so it overlaps both boards, and then I've made sure the rest of the board has got plenty on it, so if it gets pushed against, it's not going to give, which is what I want right for the back of the bath. So if it does get leaned on, it's got lots of support there. So that's first board. Let's get that in situ. What I'm not going to do is push it all the way in just now. I'm going to offer it up and just gently hold it until it sucks into place. Avoid playing with it too much just now. That's held in position. Next, I need to get this large sheet in, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you why I haven't sent that all the way into the board, into the wall. Okay, so those 2 boards now, they're together, stuck to the wall. Now, I made some lines earlier in my preparation phase on this batten, and I want to push this plasterboard back until I can see those lines appear. Which I can now see. now it's a case of making sure that the whole board is flat with itself. Good, that's it. That's that stuck on the wall. Now to do the top bits, same method. And there we are, folks, that's dotting and dabbing. All I've got to do now is just do the same process on the inside of the window. I don't think there's much point showing that because you get the vibe. You've seen how it's done. You just need to measure it, mix the stuff properly and stick it on and make sure that you've done your preparation. On this one, it's just 3 cuts, so it's nice and straightforward. So I'm going to do that. We're going to leave the video there and I hope that's helped you. And if it has, subscribe to the channel, like the video, it will reach more people. There's more content coming that hopefully will help you as well. Cheers, guys.